see if it's working. Hey, I got people in the chat already. That was quick. Got one person. Hello. I just wanted to see. Yeah, I am the guy who makes the CTR themes. I'm trying to experiment with streaming now, because I'm learning how to speedrun not only this game but CTR.
Why did they create the vast monoliths that litter our planet?
You recognize Frederick. I'm gonna put a message in my Discord.
What was their purpose? And why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of Green Eco, one of the wisest men on the planet.
So I guess hi to everyone who's here. I didn't actually expect anyone to watch. I'm just testing, broadcasting this from my PS4, actually. I'm on my second account. So this is not my main one, but I figured I would see what it's like if people wanted to watch. I am the guy who makes the Crash songs. I do the music. I'm really excited for Nitro Fueled. Looking at the new footage, it actually looks like it's shaping up way better than the Insane Trilogy was. I think there's still some of the models that I don't like as much, but I think for the most part, they're actually way animated better. And a lot of the art direction seems to be a little bit clearer than the Insane Trilogy was, but I'm probably one of the only people who cares about looking at that stuff. I'm an art student, so. Thank you. I spend a lot of time making them. Obviously, it's just a hobby. It started. Yeah, I wish that Beanox would hire me, but so far I've only been able to get a restraining order when I, come and solicit their property. I would love to work on a Crash game though. I'm probably going to apply to game design studios out of college. But, and probably not for music, just because music I'm self-taught. I actually have, like, a formal education in art disciplines and performance and stuff like that, so I'd probably be a graphic designer. I've dropped some of the quick sketches that I've done on, like, the community tab, and in my Discord, if any of you are in there.
I think we're in trouble!
I should have played through the cutscene before I started streaming, because now we all get to watch this. Has anyone seen Bonesaw 577, his Jak and Daxter speedrun? Daxter is the little fuzzy one. Jak is the larger, non-furry one.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a really fun game, actually. I play it way too much. Hello, more people. We have 9 people watching. That's a record, considering this is the first time. Yeah, PS1 was awesome.
What in green tarnation do you two want?
I was...
Don't tell me! Instead of heeding my wisdom, the two of you went mucking around in the only place that I told you not to go.
I have the stream up on my phone, and so I can hear myself talking in one ear, because I have 2 headphones in.
In a bathtub filled with dark eco.
Look, old man! Are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna help me out of this mess?
I'm gonna keep yapping, because in my professional opinion, the change is an improvement. And besides, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
What?
There's only one person who has studied Dark Eco long enough to have a chance at returning you to your previous form. Carl Acheron, the Sage. But he lives far to the north. Far, far to the north.
So who's played this game?
Nobody has spoken to him in ages.
Who's a Jack, man?
There,
hey,
but I can't do
Hypergolem's here, it looks like.
None of the 3 sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while.
I do agree, like a lot of the stuff that, it's a hypergolem of what it would be like for Crash on PS2. Like a lot of the stuff that was taken from this is obviously from Crash, but he has a spin and a dash type of attack. I feel like this would have been a good direction for the series, but I'm glad that they moved on to Jack. I do like the Jack franchise a lot.
Energy to withstand the canyon's heat. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Yes, Kira, that might work. But where are a boy?
I did the music for that fan game.
To get 20 power cells.
I'm in the Discord. I threw a shameless plug in there to get him on. I'm glad you can join us. It'll be fun.
Greasing their palms with a few precursor
I also played the fan game. I enjoyed that actually quite a lot. It was really fun seeing something that I like got to be a part of.
Well, we've got the
get to play it like that. It was fun.
Brave adventurer! You two couldn't find your way out of the village without training. Before you do anything else, you better go through the warp gate and get some practice on Geyser Rock.
We won't find any more of that dark gooey eco stuff, will we?
If anyone has seen the comments from someone called Coco Racers Anonymous on my videos, I actually go to college with that guy. I'm gonna try to get him on too. He's the guy that I know that speedruns Legend of Zelda, and he kind of taught me how to like get into the speedrunning kind of community. So I've been actually working on learning this game. Sorry, I'm in the middle of getting my coffee, so I'll start playing just a second. I'm in my dorm room. I'm just gonna put some milk in it because it's hot. I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning, which is weird for me, and then I watched The Office for like 3 hours, and now I don't have the motivation to go to the gym anymore, so I'm gonna just play Jak and Daxter. Alright, here we go.
This device is a communicator. With it, my father and I can give you advice.
Actually, I'm gonna turn off the game hints. Yeah, off for that.
Any time during your quest.
Actually, Hypergolem, if you've done more games than Crash Apocalypse, I should check those out, because I only ever played Apocalypse, actually. It reminded me a lot of the Game Boy Crash games. I played those a lot when I was a kid. Those were the very first Game Boy games that I got. I'm gonna throw one more message into Discord to see who else I can get. It's cool that people actually tuned into this, though. Alright, and we're good. Come on. I'm really out of practice on this. I haven't played in a few months. I've been playing a lot of Smash Ultimate. I competed in a tournament last night. I didn't do very well, but I did alright. Won a couple games. I'm not trash at it, so that's always nice. I'm trying to do that. I wanted to do like an actual camera for this, but I only have a PlayStation 3. So what's the camera called for PS3? The PSI. I only have one of those for PS3, and it doesn't work on PS4, I just learned, because I've never tried to use it before now. So that's actually one of the things I do for speedrunning, jumping up that rock. But yeah, I couldn't get it to work, so I'm just doing the voice. But otherwise this would have been like a pseudo face reveal, I guess. To anyone who wasn't here when we started, I'm playing on my second phone, so I'm actually like have doing trophies. Oh no, we lost 4 people. Shit, we're down to 5 now. That's a tragedy. That's a fucking tragedy. I actually picked up K. Rool for the memes, and unironically really like him. So, my friend is teaching me how to play Cloud, because he's like a ranked Cloud, which is frightening as hell. I actually really hope that Crash ends up in Smash Ultimate. I know it probably won't happen, but I can freaking dream. So there's always that. But I play... Right now I'm learning K. Rool. I play Sonic just because people frickin' hate Sonic. I'm not really a Sonic guy anymore, as much as I was when I was a kid. But it's one of those things that I pull him out when I want to mix up, because that's usually the second pick that I have in a tournament setting. Because half the people I go to school with don't have any clue how to play him. Yeah, now you're all gonna leave the stream because you know that I play Sonic.
Why don't you make yourself useful?
But probably Link and K. Rool right now. I'm trying to learn them. I like new Link's bombs. Breath of the Wild Link. Yes, I hate Sonic as a character. I hate his moveset. I hate how he plays. But the reason that I do it is because I'm shameless and it works. He has like 3 frickin' moves. It's like... It's one of those things that, like, they obviously rushed him for Brawl, and then never went back and fixed it. But he's actually good in Ultimate, which makes me upset, so I went back to playing him. Because I played him in Project M, because he's actually really, unironically really good in Project M. But then I never played him in Smash 4, as much. I like Mario a lot, which is such a basic bitch choice, but... I'm gonna go to Forbidden Jungle first, actually. Well, that's embarrassing. Yeah, Sonic doesn't have enough of variety in his moves. He gets really repetitive to play. So I only pull him out for very specific occasions now. Cloud is really good, actually. I really would like Waluigi. I would play him for the win. I won't rest until Waluigi gets his own game done. Yeah, that was the thing about Sonic and like Brawl and Smash 4, I feel like, in the Ultimate, is that he's too fast and it's really easy to kill yourself with that. I'm learning that there's a slight delay between when I'm doing things and when it's actually like showing up on my screen with this, so it's throwing me off just a bit, but it's like good to know. Or maybe it's just placebo because I haven't played this in a while. Oh. That's really good that this is working though. Like, I'm glad you guys can hear me. It's really easy to set up. I have to run... Oh god, yeah, Cloud is so freaking brain dead. Which means that, like, if you actually, like, learn how to play him, it gets really gross really quick, because getting good with a brain dead character often means, oh shit, I messed that up. Yeah, I agree, I really like Jak and Daxter. This is probably one of my favorite games ever. I started playing the Ratchet and Clank games. I can turn down the game sounds, actually. I can't tell because I can't hear my own voice anymore. So that's good. Let me actually see if I can, like, mess with that. Let me see... Yeah, that's probably a little better. Does that change anything? Let me Google that quick, how to change it. Yeah, I actually just opened it up on my phone and the game is really loud. Let me see if I can turn that down. I'm gonna Google that quick. Did that do something? I'm gonna try it again. Okay, hold on. This is why I'm doing the test. Because now I can change this in advance. Oh, shoot. Okay, apparently, I just went onto Reddit really quick, and apparently the only solution is to just turn down the game option, so I'm literally just gonna do that. Probably put it to 40. Let me know how it is after I adjust this. Keep that to... Better? Oh crap. I wasn't watching, I was looking at the questions. I'm playing this on PS4 because I got the Jak collection on sale. And it's really easy to link YouTube to PlayStation 4, I've learned. Okay, that's good that the sound's better now. Yeah, it was like really easy, it's as simple as hitting a button to stream to YouTube. I turned it down really low, so it ends up being... If it ends up being too quiet, you can let me know too, and I'll change that. I screwed that up because now I can't get that power cell. I was too busy messing with the game audio. I haven't played Spyro A Hero's Tale, but I'm listening to the soundtrack because I learned that it was Steve Duckworth, and I believe he did Crash Bash's soundtrack too. And so I was really interested in seeing what it was like. I'm playing Psychonauts literally because I learned that, and now I'm blanking on his name, but the guy who did the soundtrack for the Sly Cooper series, I don't know why I can't remember him right now. Excellent composer, but I wanted to see his other work. And so I checked out Psychonauts, and it's actually one of the best decisions I've made in a long time. Psychonauts is really fun. I only had one PS2 Spyro game, and that was Enter the Dragonfly as a kid. And that game was weird. I mean, obviously now, like, I know it's because it was unfinished and rushed, but as a kid, like, when you don't understand that kind of thing, you wonder why it, like, feels so off when you're playing it. Because I had Spyro 3, and that was the only one that I had on the PS3, or the PS1. And so I'd played that one, and then I really wanted to get the next one, because I liked Spyro then, but it was weird. And that kind of put me off Spyro for a while as a kid, because then I focused more on playing Jak and Daxter, and Ratchet and Clank, and Sly Cooper. Those were my 3 favorites. Yeah, you really don't need to look more beyond the reviews than to know what that game's all about. I've beaten it for real. I did that actually last year on my emulator. I have an actual copy, but not on me, because I go to school. So I emulated it, and I beat it. Sly 2 is so good. Sly 2 is... wow. I really like Sly 2. I watch B-Mask, as I've said in Discord, and I really appreciate his videos on Sly because I'm in the art discipline too, and so he thinks very much like I do. And it's nice to find someone else who kind of considers the same thing when playing a game. That now I really like to see kind of what the medium can do creatively when I play through things. And here's the thing, like, I have all 4 Sly games. I actually like Thieves in Time. I just replayed it. And I know that when B-Mask does a video on it, because I know it gets a lot of hate for not being good, I know that when B-Mask does a video on it, he will definitely sway my opinion. And it's probably just because I haven't thought about Thieves in Time too much, that it doesn't bother me, but it doesn't bother me. The only thing I really can think of off the top of my head that I hate in Thieves in Time is the Penelope twist, which is just such a mistake. The one gripe that I do have about Sly 4 is that it took everything that was nice and cathartic and, you know, final about Sly 3 and kind of just threw it out the window. And, so we don't even get Sly 3's happy ending. It messes up everything, Sly's missing. And then there's not going to be another one. So that's always nice. That's kind of my gripe about it. And it's one of those things that I'm not sure if people are upset just about that and it ruins their opinion of the game, or if like the game actually has something wrong with it that I'm literally just missing so far. The Wild West chapter is actually my favorite. I love the music there. I'm a sucker for Wild West aesthetics. Everyone has like their kind of like niche thing. Mine is like Wild West and adventure, which is why I really like Uncharted. Not because Uncharted's Wild West, but because of the, like the adventure part. Kind of the cheesy action movie type thing. Come on. There we go. I actually really like Jak 2. I know that that game is really divisive on what people think about it. I believe there's an orb capsule right here. Yep. Then I know that people are a little divided on whether or not they like Jak 2, but overall I think it's a lot of fun. I think Jak 1's probably the best out of the Jak franchise, just because it has the, the clearest kind of direction of what it was going for. Jak 3 really does just feel like an expansion of Jak 2, which is fun if you want more Jak 2, but I know the story can kind of get to a lot of people for that one. I'll probably get pretty far, actually, before I stop streaming. The eggs are the whole premise of Jak and Daxter, and I might just be repeating myself if you played it and you know. But it's that you're these two kids in this kind of like mythical world, and there was this race of people called the Precursors that inhabited it before you, and people don't know where they went. They just up and vanished. So like all the kind of pink, I can actually show you like the temple over there, all the pinky metal type thing is like their aesthetic. Those are the ruins that they left behind. And the currency that they left in their disappearance are the little eggs, which are called precursor orbs, and they're very valuable. So you collect them, and then the power cells are like power cores that you gotta pick up to fuel machinery. Like I have 8 of them. You need 20 to get to the next area. I went the wrong way. The PS3, that's actually a really good question, because I couldn't find anything good on that when I was going to buy it. I bought the whole collection of all 4 Jak games for 15 bucks, which is a really good deal, because otherwise it would have been full price, and I think I would have been really pissed off if I would have paid full price for this, because they don't actually run that well. Which is alright, because they're all playable. I've beaten all 4 of them. It's actually my first time beating Jak X on PS4, but Jak X probably runs the worst out of them. Jak 1 runs probably the best, but it has this weird thing that like you can watch how, let me get to a flatter piece of ground, like Jak will snap. See how he's kind of like snapping as I'm turning? It's a very small thing, but like the analog movement's a little weird. That's like the only problem with Jak 1, it runs almost perfectly. Jak 2 has some really weird lag spikes. When you're entering the saloon, it'll just drop to like 10 frames a second for about 2 or 3 seconds, which is really odd considering that it's such a small area to load. And then Jak 3 overall is better, but still has some, areas of trouble. So Jak 1 runs the best. Jak 2 and 3 probably like a solid B- in performance, but like Jak X is terrible. I am from Wisconsin. If I have an accent, that's why. I try not to, but I have a head cold today, so, which is why I'm streaming, so my nose is congested out the ass. I'm actually right next to Green Bay, which would be more impressive if the Packers didn't suck this year.
What do you have in the basket?
I'm gonna get more coffee and take some medicine. But we're doing a cutscene.
Patrolling the ocean took a bite out of me fishing rig. Another gobbling up me catch. No matter what I try.
To anyone who doesn't know, too, the pirate guy or the fisherman, that's Kevin Conroy. Or Batman, which I didn't know for a long time.
I'll give you a power cell if you can catch 200 pounds of them critters. And then I'll let you and Shrimp here use my speedboat to get to Misty Island. You want to try the challenge?
Yes, I do. Let me just get my medicine. Oh, did my roommate take my medicine? That bastard. I'm gonna kill him. That's alright, I have some. Yeah, it's kind of funny, because, like, if you don't beat this, this minigame, you can do the entire game without even knowing that Misty Island's there. Which, I almost did as a kid. Because I couldn't beat this by myself, I had to have my dad do it for me.
1 pound fishies and 5 pound fishies. If you miss,
there's 1 pound fishies and 5 pound fishies.
Take me net back from you. There are poisonous eels in this river. Catch even one of them boogers, and you'll poison the whole damn
Oh, did
catch.
anyone hear that? I cracked my neck. It was a big one. Alright, I'm gonna try not to miss any fish, because I can do that. I just did it, as a bet the other week. 1 pound fishies and 5 pound fishies.
Steady, boy. Here comes a big one.
Someone want to give me $5 if I do this perfect? Oh, that was close. Oh, son of a bitch. Alright, that'll be the only one I miss. I thought I was gonna do it.
Steady, boy.
I got the really hard RNG in this one.
Here comes a big one. Hold steady. You're almost there. You did it!
There we go.
You caught 200 pounds of fish.
Oh my god.
Not bad for a couple of landlubbers.
I wouldn't mind seeing like an open world crash again either, actually. For as much as I have problems with Twinsanity is pretty fun. Really unfinished, but like it has good ideas that I would like to see, you know, tried again, but in a game that's not Twinsanity. I really don't want to. How many am I missing? On an unrelated topic. I don't want to see a remake of Twinsanity. I think that would be a mistake. It is short. Yeah, it's short. It's buggy. It's not great. It's fine. It's fun. But there are better games to play. I'm not sure what I'm missing, but I guess I'll just leave. I wasn't paying attention to the order I did things, so. Hopefully it's the ones on the beach. I think those count for Forbidden Jungle and not Sandover. Someone's probably screaming into a pillow, seeing the ones I missed. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to see CTR remade or not, because I know everyone wanted it, but people also were asking for Crash Bash and Twinsanity, and I really thought that if we focused too much on, like, remaking those, the series would just stagnate again, especially because we've already been there. Rillaru Cinematic Universe. Oh my god. That, oh boy, what a... Crash Bash is a game. It's definitely a game. But I do think that we need a new Crash game after CTR. I think it's really good that we did CTR, because that game is really, unironically, really, really good. And it looks like they're learning from a lot of the Insane Trilogy and making it. So I think it's important that it exists, but after that I think it should stop. I don't think there should be another Spyro remake, because Spyro doesn't have, like, that kind of fourth classic one. Because Crash had 1, 2, 3, and then CTR, and CTR is like a cult classic. So it makes sense to do that, but there's no other Spyro games that really warrant kind of that treatment. So I think that after this, it's time to really move on. Crash Landed looked like it could have had promise. Some good art ideas. I mean, we obviously never saw any gameplay, so in that sense it could have been total shit. And it probably would have been, just because that wasn't a good time for Crash, but you know, live and learn. We'll make another one, hopefully it'll be good. How do you guys feel about Uncharted? Because in the Uncharted community, they're interesting. Yeah, I think Crash Landed probably would have been shit. There's some ideas I liked, like rescuing the little bandicoots. That was kind of cute. See, I see a lot of people say that, and I think that that's totally fair, because there are a lot of... I'm gonna see if I can... Nope, messed it up. I really like Uncharted, just because, like, I know that it's not for everyone, because some people really do like very gamey kind of games, and that is definitely a comment about the gaming Brit, if anyone gets that. But for me, that feeds my, like, kind of addiction, that I love movies like The Mummy and what's the other one I was just thinking of? I just watched another really good movie. Indiana Jones, that's what I was thinking of. Like Indiana Jones, The Mummy, stuff like that. So playing a game that is like that is my thing. That is, I will eat that shit up for days. The Last of Us is really good. I do think that Uncharted is the best out of kind of the movie, in big air quotes, games. But I think that it was a trend that really did overstay its welcome, and I think that's why Uncharted has a lot of, you know, stigma to it, I guess, in some circles. I'm trying to get up here without doing the actual vlog thing. You can do it. That's how I do this area. Come on. There we go. Should've just started from that side. But I think, like, the whole era where we had games like The Evil Within and The Order, and shit like that, it was a trope that was way too overused as the movie game kind of archetype. I think it was stupid. I think it was barely ever done well. I think there's 3 games that, like, do it decently. And so I think that it's something that I'm not too upset to see it go, because it looks like we're not doing it as much anymore. Because Spider-Man I thought might be one of those, and I haven't played Spider-Man yet, but it looks like it's actually, like, kind of a gamey game again. And that's really interesting to see, because we haven't seen that in a while. I'm probably talking in vague terms that people don't understand, but I'm interested to see what we kind of get in the next few years after this, like, nostalgia resurgence. The first 3 Uncharted games I actually think are really good. Uncharted 1 is dated really poorly. It hasn't aged as well. But Uncharted 2 is the reason for playing them. Especially if you're doing it on PS4, where the 1080 60 FPS is... it makes those games clean up really well. But I want to see if there's, like, a way to do... I want to see if there's a way to do, like, a voice chat for this kind of streaming stuff, because I would love to talk to people. Because if there's only going to be, like, 4 people in a stream, it's probably pretty easy to do that. I'm hoping that Insomniac will do another Ratchet game now that they've done Spider-Man. Just because I think Ratchet on PS4 was good, but not great. I think the original's better overall, but after seeing what they've learned with Spider-Man, I want to see what they can do with that going into the Ratchet series. It's a good year for games. Yeah, I think that if you're in a party, you can share the party audio. I saw a setting for that. So if anyone actually has like a PS4 and wants to play sometime, I do a lot of online stuff. I have 2 accounts, so I'll just use this one. I play Overwatch, which is some of you are either gonna love me or hate me for that. But I just casually play Overwatch. I used to try to get ranked, but not good.
Good job. Now beat me down.
Now we're down to 3 people. Tragic. Come on, just talk to her, man.
Oh my.
There you go.
I hope the poor dear's okay.
I'm not sure how long I'm gonna stream for. Probably for a little bit longer. The weather here is absolutely... It's... oof.
Isn't that cute?
Everything is frozen. You can't walk anywhere.
I'm not your mom.
Kinda sucks. Yeah, I used to be like... Yeah, I used to,
I'll take this little chick back to the village.
I used to play online more. That's what I was trying to say. I played Uncharted 3 a gross amount when that was the fresh game. But it was one of those things that the community sucks so much that I really just am not interested anymore. The only game that I really play online is Overwatch, just because I have literally 5 other friends with PS4s that all have that game. So we have a squad and we'll just do that to relax on weekends. But we don't take it very seriously. We'll get salty at each other, but like I'm good to not get ranked anymore. I got platinum once and then I was done. Then my life was complete. Smash Bros. Ultimate is kind of the reason to have a Switch. I do agree. I thought if you landed on him it hurt him. That's gross. Who do you play in Smash Ultimate? I'm interested to hear. Sorry, just taking a drink of coffee. Yeah, Nintendo's online is something. It's interesting. I've tried to play online when Smash 4 came out because my friends had Wii U's. So we'd double up and go online, but that's it's such a bad experience that it's honestly better to just play with people on the same couch. Now, to anyone who didn't know that you could do this, I'm gonna hit the bird. There we go. And then you can get the power cell from the bird that way. I screwed up an extended uppercut. Damn it. I used to like Sony's online better when it was free. I'm really upset that PS4 changed that. Yeah, Nintendo's online is not the gold standard. I don't understand why it's not better, because they're such a huge company. They have the resources. It's one of those things that it's obviously that they just don't quite understand what it takes to do something like that. I don't know. It's an interesting situation, to say the least. Especially now that you have to pay for it, they really should improve it. There's really no excuse not to do it, but it's not like they're gonna do it. I'm gonna go refill on the eco. If anyone wants to talk about terrible online, or not really terrible but sad, the PS3 is like shutting down now, which kind of sucks. There's been a ton of games that have gone out on PlayStation the last year, but at least they functioned when they had online, and Nintendo can't really say the same for. There was one time that I lost a, I had to end a run that I was trying to practice with for speedrunning this game when I was learning, because I forgot that I didn't get those under the waterfall, and I couldn't find them. Yeah, it's crazy how old the PlayStation is. I feel very old lately. Can we get an F in the chat for the PS3 online? I just heard a scout fly and I can't remember which one I forgot. I'm not really paying attention to what I'm getting. How many do I have? Okay, never mind. I'm missing a ton. There it is. Screwed up another extended uppercut. Hey, we got F's in the chat. Yeah, it's kind of sad to see the era end, but I remember like they were talking about the PS4 like all the way in 2010. It seems like it's probably not 2010, but like in that era in my mind. I remember playing the PS3 and thinking like they're gonna do a fourth one now, and it just seemed like this kind of ominous thing that wasn't. It was always just on the horizon, and then it became a reality. And that was an interesting day. I'm not going to get everything, just because I'm going to try to get to Fire Canyon quick. So I'm going to buy probably the two cells from the Oracle and then the one from my uncle. And then I'll have 20. Did anyone play PlayStation All-Stars when that was a game? Anyone remember that piece of something? What did you guys think of that?
You've caught me at a most inopportune moment. I was to set off on my journeys yesterday, but I seem to be a spot short on the old precursor.
I was really
I would have pledged my word that I had
confused by the existence of PlayStation All-Stars. I still got it. I still played it for cheap. It was fun while it lasted. I platinumed it, but it's not a Smash Brothers killer. I'll just put it that way.
Anyway, would you be kind enough to loan your dear old uncle 90 precursor orbs so he can get underway? I would offer you a power cell in return.
The roster is really weak in All-Stars. There's honestly, it feels like Smash Ultimate has more PlayStation characters.
Good, jolly good.
Because I got Cloud and Snake.
We agreed on. I hope you put this hard-earned power cell to good use. Cheerio, ta-ta, bye-bye.
My latest thing, when I started going to school for college, like that was already 3 years ago. Holy shit. Yeah, it was sad there's no Crash and Spyro in All-Stars. But when I got to college, the main thing that I started doing was I kind of became addicted to trophies. So that's the only reason that I ever platinumed All-Stars, was because it was really easy to do that. I actually never finished the platinum till just recently, and it was like when I heard that the online was shutting down. I was missing one online trophy, and so I went up and I hit every chat board that I knew up for a partner to get it. And then I got it like 2 days before the servers finally shut down. So that was lucky, because now I can say that I got everything in that stupid game.
120 precursor orbs for each power cell.
I think it's interesting that Cloud's in Smash. I like him there, but between, like, you know, the amount of third-party characters that we've got now, it's kind of interesting to see what Smash is becoming. Because Persona 5 is PS4 exclusive, right?
You have proven yourself.
I can't remember. Because I haven't played Persona. But all my friends have it, and they're going to lend it to me after they're done. So I'll finally get to try that before Joker comes out for Ultimate. Yeah, PlayStation All-Stars really can't call itself All-Stars when it had, like, 3 recognizable characters. Like, it's nice to see Parappa and shit, but we're missing, like, Lara Croft and Crash and Spyro, and it's one of those things that it's such a basic thing to complain about, but it really does matter. You need a good roster if you're gonna do a fighting game, and they just didn't.
Tried to steal him earlier. You think you could help an old man and try to get him back into the corral?
Yeah, Sackboy, before they patched it, Sackboy was frightening, because I played that game when it first came out. Yeah, that's actually a really good way to put it, Frederick. Yeah, it hurts. Sly's a fun character to play in a fighting game, that although I really don't overall like All-Stars that much, there were some ideas that I thought were kind of fun. Like playing a character who couldn't block, but he had a really overpowered counter instead was kind of interesting. It probably wouldn't work very well, but
20 cells needed to power my heat
it was fun to
shield.
try.
Now be careful. The shield will only protect your zoomer till it reaches 500 degrees, so try to keep her cool. Flying over open lava will definitely heat you up fast. Hit 500 degrees and it's over.
Over? Like burning molten metal over?
The fire canyon gets pretty hot, so keep a lookout for jumps to keep you off the hot ground. I've also released several blue cooling balloons you can use to drop the shield's temperature quickly. And when you get across, don't forget to activate
I used to think she was cute when I was a kid. I still kind of do. She's cute. Not like in a weird way, but in like a aw. Hey, welcome to the chat. Enjoy your stay. I'm just testing how streaming is gonna work for my PlayStation. It's going really well. I just missed a scout fly because I was looking at the chat. I'm gonna go back. I want to figure out how best to play, like CTR. I'm gonna die now. I want to play games like CTR and, you know, stuff that's not available to play on PS4. So I have to figure out how I'm either gonna get my emulators to broadcast, or if there's a way to do it from PS3, but I think you need a capture card for PS3, and I'm only just learning this stuff now, so I'm like behind the gun. It's not particularly hard, but it does mean I have to get creative with how I'm gonna do it. Get out of the chat, get inside. I'm missing scout flies because I'm reading the messages. I should stop inviting people that I know in real life into the streams. I'm gonna just call that now. There we go. My speedrun time for this game is now half an hour over pace for a decent speedrun, which is a lot, but it's getting better. I shouldn't reveal how I know Ganonside. I'm gonna send you a message. One of the things I've never tried but I've thought about is not turning on the doors. I don't know what happens.
I don't think I'll ever get used to that teleporter tingling sensation. Hey! It looks like the Blue Sage threw a party.
Oh my! Rock Village is on fire!
I got Bowser sided at the tournament I played in last night.
I mean, Rock Village is being bombarded with flaming
I was playing against a dude who's ranked in the state. He was my very first matchup of the night, and he dismantled everyone that was there, and we all wanted to kill ourselves after we were done. But I played him first, and I tried to pick Little Mac, because I didn't know who he was when I was playing him, so I started off with frickin' Little Mac. And he just Bowser-sided me twice. And then on the third one he threw me off stage, and then I didn't know that Bowser's down air spikes now, and I learned that the hard way. And that was fun. Samus' voice actor actually is dead. It makes me upset. I learned that he died earlier this year. Or not this year, last year, like in March. He's in Psychonauts. He's the dogs in the Mexican area. I recognized his voice right away. Okay, this eco vent is bullshit, so let's see if I can do it. He was literally crushed by the log on his head.
I've got to get back to my research.
Oh shit, I was reading the chat and I went the wrong way. I invited another guy that I know, but he hasn't joined yet. It's his birthday, so we should get his ass in here so I can wish him happy birthday. Yeah, I wish that the Wrath of Cortex was a little less Play-Doh-y at times. The only model that I actually think is good from Wrath of Cortex is Crash's. And that's a sad thing to say. I like Wrath of Cortex well enough. It's fun. Yeah, I was wondering, I wonder why the PS2 version didn't have the realistic fur. Because I don't think the Xbox was like that much more powerful than the PS2, but I can't remember for certain, so I could be very wrong. I do like the fur shader in the Insane Trilogy though. I think the Switch version looks like absolute garbage without it. Which I'm glad that other people like it, because it seems like it's something that people are fairly split on. But at least there's some people who think it looks okay. I'm not gonna get everything in this area, because fuck this area. I'm just gonna miss that one orb. That'll be okay. Just gonna miss 2 orbs. Yeah, I emulated the GameCube version, and I was really surprised at how terrible the GameCube version is. I thought it was my computer at first, and then I went on the internet and discovered that no, it actually just sucks. Yeah, the Spider Caves area in Jak 1 gave me PTSD. I just missed a roll. That's alright. I missed several orbs. Come on. Here you go. The one, I just messed up another extended uppercut, but that's alright. The one level that I really do hate is definitely Spider Caves. If I haven't done a single one right. I've done one correctly today. Makes me upset. I used to really hate Boggy Swamp too, but now it's not that bad now that I know where everything is. You can run it pretty quickly if you know where you're going. It's just easy to get lost. Same with this one. I honestly think the best area in Jak and Daxter is the first one. I think it just has more of more fun levels than any other area. Because out of this hub, I really hate this one. And out of the next one, I really hate Spider Cave even more. Which Boggy Swamp Easter egg? And if you're pranking me, I will be very upset. I've seen that. Yeah, he yelled at me for being in his swamp. I'm not watching what I'm doing. I'm gonna see if I can make it. I thought I hit the other button, but I was reading the messages. Ooh. Can we get an F? Can we get an F? Damn it. Alright. Guess I'll kill myself. I wish it was easier to mod PS1 or PS2 games. Trying to drink coffee and do this. Identity theft isn't a joke, Jim. Now I'm gonna do it right. Yeah, I think when it's done right, like having a remake is good. The Resi 2 remake actually is, I think, something done right. I haven't played it, but just looking at how they've really actually like fundamentally changed it. Yeah, I think it has to have as much care put into it as the original. And that's why I think that Ratchet on PS4, which isn't necessarily a remake, is, it gets some things wrong. Just because, it takes out content. And that shouldn't be what a remake does. It's still a good game on its own, but... CTR is, very good. I'm gonna have some fine words for myself later. Croc getting remade. Yeah, there's something about the, I like what CTR looks like so far. I think the characters are animated way better than the Insane trilogy. I think there's a lot more life and care put into the environments. I think that it's shaping up to be a really solid remake, especially if they add content. Because they already showed off that they have the carts from Nitro Kart. And so we definitely have that, at least. I might just be imagining it, but it sounds like they have voice lines from Nitro Kart too, so I'm hoping that it means that they're pulling content from other games, which would be really cool. But yeah, like I can't tell if it's just because the people who are playing it don't know how to play CTR. Because there are some videos that they're obviously absolute garbage. I'm gonna do something bad to myself. I'm just gonna leave this area, honestly. I'm talking too much rather than playing the game. But I think that there is something that looks like it's just a little bit off in terms of the drifting and the boosting in Nitro Fueled, and I don't know if it's because people don't know what they're doing, or if it needs tweaking, but honestly, like, watching what I've seen so far, it looks so close that hopefully in the last 5 months of development they can tweak it. Because, like, looking at the development builds of the Insane trilogy, they only got close in, like, I just went backwards. They only got close in, like, the 11th hour. That they were showing, like, the previews of the sewer levels from Crash 2, and the belly flop was, like, totally off, and that was, like, a month to release. So, I like all Engine voice lines, because Engine is my dad. But it's one of those things that the Insane trilogy came really close to looking like it was not gonna be accurate. And I do like the Insane trilogy. There's points that I think it needs to be improved, but I think for kind of an ambitious project, it turned out pretty okay. But the fact that CTR is as close as it is, as far in advance as it is, makes me feel a little bit better, because it doesn't seem like they're gonna cut it to the wire as much. I do like Hyperspaceway. Yeah, I think that Nitro Fueled looks like there's points where it's a little slow in general, too. Like, the turning radius, when you exit a drift, it's like they kind of cut to the direction that they're drifting sharply. And it, like, slows you down, and that's not how it worked in the original one. I think that's kind of what I'm hung up about. It looks better than Nitro Kart, though. I'm happy about that. Because I'm mixed about Nitro Kart sometimes. I think Engine has a permanent inward pass. I think the new meme needs to be that Engine is a godlike being. I'm gonna come back for this. What does the N stand for in all of their names? What do you think it stands for? Cortex has it on his goddamn head. Yeah, Nitro Kart's fun. I like CTR way better, but Nitro Kart isn't bad. It is just, like, off if you grew up. I missed an orb. Gonna get ends in the chat. My next stream will be I beat all of Jak 2 without dying in one sitting. Reading messages again and missing things. I'm just gonna beat it because no one wants to see me retry it again. I love Crash Tag Team Racing. It feels like a fever dream that we all just collectively had. I missed. It's possible to, because you have to do this to speedrun, you have to, like, go back through here without the Dark Eco Rising. I'm gonna try it. I didn't see the B on your message, it showed up weird on my screen, so I thought you said you played it just to eat people in the park. Because I wouldn't doubt that you could do that in that game. God damn it. I'm gonna do it. You're gonna have to wait until I get it. Alright, that one's just sad. There we go. There should be a button for eating ass in CTTR. Tag Team Racing. That would fit with the tone of the game. You just have Crash randomly come up and, like, assault people. Yeah, the next Crash game is going to be the Crash Bandicoot N-word trilogy. That's Crash's weapon, is that he eats the other racers' asses. That's a tough question. I don't think I could answer. They do the Insanely Bad trilogy, but it's just the two, it's Twinsanity and then the two Titans games. Hey, someone responded to my message. We might have someone in the chat. Let me go answer that. He's coming, boys. Oh Lord, he coming. It makes me upset that so many people want a Twinsanity remake. Twinsanity should be left to where it is. It's fun, but let it be. Let it die peacefully. That era of Crash was interesting, but it's over now. My opinion on that game feels like it changes daily, because there are days that, like, I just played it again. And there are days that I think it's, like, fun. And it's a good time. And there's days where I want to throw my controller at it. I agree with that. No more remakes after CTR. Yeah, I think that those last two messages actually sum it up pretty perfectly. Now I'm gonna get all the orbs I missed. I went the... I'll just kill myself, I guess. It's okay, I needed those orbs anyway. I went down the wrong slide, I was reading the messages. I promise, I speedrun this game. Well, that's tragic. The one thing I really like about Jak and Daxter is that it's like really fun just to run around in. That there's not a lot of games that like the movement is just as enjoyable as this. The drill part in Twinsanity scared me as a kid. Let me not do that again. Alright, now I'm gonna go the right way. How many do I have? I believe it's 40 for the levitation machine. So I'll have to do Boggy Swamp. Let me go get this parcel. Is that really the speedrun record for Twinsanity? Oh my god, I just googled it and you're right. Holy crap. Yeah, I really like the skip in Snowy Mountain where you can get Flet out of bounds. That's a lot of fun. That's the only way that I play that level anymore now. There's also, there used to be a skip, that it was like the way to do this when I was in middle school, and it's like you have to swim around here, and in that little alcove you can get away from the, lurker shark, and then you have just enough time to make it around behind and climb the geometry to the hill. And I used to be able to do that, but I can't do it anymore. If you want to see the Flet skips, I'll do them when I get there. Gorilla Monkey Anus Face, someone else gets it, thank God. I feel so validated. The Rillaroo Legacy. Rillaroo Lost Legacy. I'm gonna do this without the bridge, because that's how real men do it. Fuck the warrior. I've been watching Cat Icarus since, like, he was a little baby-faced YouTuber. It's kind of why I feel so old, because I was a subscriber to Markiplier when he had 300 subs, because one of my friends told me to. And I was a sub to Cat Icarus when he only had his Crash Bandicoot, or his Crash Bash review out, and he had no beard and hair, and looked like Shaggy. And now it's been such a long time. I'm gonna pour more coffee. Yeah, there was a when he alienated, I forgot, it was like Matt and Ryan. I can't remember their names because I haven't watched in a while. But when he went through his period of being a dick, I stopped watching. Now it seems like he's way better and kind of back to his old self again. Because we all have periods where we're like that, but I did clear the fuck out pretty quick when that happened. Plus, like, the general atmosphere of his channel is different, that I used to like to watch him to see the indie games, but now it's more of a mainstream thing. Which is fine, because it has its audience, but it's not what I want to see, and I've kind of outgrown it. I do agree. Overall, I like him, but I do agree with that. See, I don't like Square-Eyed Jack. I find that his opinions are... It's just a matter of opinion that I disagree with a lot of what he thinks. I still watch his videos. But it's the same way that I feel about the Gaming Brit. Like, I watch everything that he makes, but I really hate some of it. I still like him, even if I do admit to hating him. Just because it's entertaining content at the end of the day. The Gaming Brit, though, has really started to piss me off. I really like him, though. Just in the sense that he obviously thinks about what he's saying, but there are points when, like, he kind of strives into, well, it's not DMC, so... And there's a point where, like, the meme can be taken too far. That it's great that he acknowledges it, but it does skew some of his opinions that I don't think should be skewed. The only person that I think I always 100% agree with right now is B-Mask. Just because he and I think very similarly. And I want to do what he does. Yeah, don't even try to 100% Crash Bash. I couldn't even beat it legitimately as a kid. It's just fucking bullshit. It was the first time that I can remember disagreeing was the Sly reviews. Because I agree with Sly 1, but I don't think the things that he ragged on for Sly 2 are something I agree with. They're valid, because everyone's criticism of something is valid, at least on some level. But, I don't know, there's a degree to which I feel like he misses the point. And I haven't seen the video since it came out, so I couldn't, like, make a comprehensive paper on it right now. But, I don't know. There's times that it's like, oof. Oh crap, I just meant to jump on the thing. God damn it. I guess I just take it as it goes. I like his Insane Trilogy video, though. It was entertaining. I like Cat Icarus' Insane Trilogy video. It's one of those things that, like... I can't tell if Cat Icarus has a stigma or not, because I know some people will mention him and be like, oof, can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm not sure why, because I don't think... He hasn't caused any drama from what I've seen, and his videos aren't that divisive. So I'm not sure what that comes from, if it's just like a meme-y kind of thing. Who else do I watch that I really like? I don't know how to pronounce it, if it's Goonie or Gunny, but P. Goonie did some good videos. He just hasn't uploaded anything that's not a stream in like a few months, so it's kind of tragic. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things that is like, that I see people talk about, is that they just don't think he's funny, which is very fair, because it is a very, different type of humor. But I laugh at too many things too hard. And it's one of those things that I've just been watching him for long enough that now I just don't care anymore. It's just fun to participate. The only thing related to BuzzFeed that I like is BuzzFeed Unsolved. That's just because Shane is my spirit animal. Ah, crap. Can't believe I missed one. I was planning on only streaming for like a half an hour. I'm surprised that people are actually like watching and conversing. This is fun. Anyone watch The Completionist? I don't like The Completionist, but I watch every Completionist video. I have no idea why. I do like him better without Greg though, TBH. Come on. Who else do I really like? That was actually like harder than it should have been. Let me look at my subscribers list, or subscription list. Anonymous, for every one video that he does, every like 2 years, I watch those. Lamino. Let me check that guy out. I've never even heard of him. So I'm actually gonna write that down. If I can do it. Yeah, it's one of those things that like... I guess the only thing that I don't like about The Completionist is just some of the editing. That's bullshit. I think overall the videos are good. I get annoyed at the Donkey Kong music. That's literally my only gripe with him, so I suppose I shouldn't say that I hate him. But there's sometimes that, like, even if I disagree with, like, the Gaming Brit or something, I want to see what he has to say about media that I've consumed. Because I think there's something to be learned of just seeing, like, what people like and what they don't like. And so it is counterproductive if you're just going to watch it and then bitch about how they're different. So even when I say that I hate someone, it's more just like a kind of a mimetic hatred of like, oh, wow, this boy, right? That I wouldn't watch someone for the express intent of just hating on the content that they create, because that is counterproductive and that's bullshit. And that gets you absolutely nowhere. But if you're gonna watch it for the sake of learning what they have to say, and even if you like don't like it, because there's a period when JonTron possibly said that anti-Semitic shit that I stopped watching JonTron, but then came back after a while just because it seemed like that it kind of passed. And I think that what he had to say was interesting. It's a legitimate topic of discussion. I agree with that. I think that it's fun to just, you know, hear people discuss, because like they you'll run into things that you never even thought about. When I was working on the I just did Crash Cove, and I was working on a version of it that had jazz horns in it instead of a steel drum. And I thought that I was so clever, and I thought it was really good, and people would love it, and then the actual footage dropped with jazz horns for real, and everyone hated it. And so it got me thinking about, okay, why would that be, and how can I change it to make it better? And stuff like that. And so it's fun to just see what people have to say about things. That's probably all the things I'll be talking about doing these streams. I want to hear what people think about different games. Because when I run Jak 2, I'm pretty sure people will have things to say about that. I'm not gonna do the shooting segment because fuck that. that's gonna just slow the pace of this run to a crawl. I didn't want to get off. That was my mistake. I was drinking coffee. When they brought back, because they brought back in Jak 3 kind of the Flut, but they made it the Leaper Lizards, and I wasn't a fan of that just because I freaking love Flut, and it's really tragic to see Flut gone. That I wish they would have said that it was like the bird adapted to live in the wasteland, but I guess yelling about Jak 3's lore is probably not a good idea, because there's multiple reasons for that. I'm excited to see, on a completely unrelated topic, but still Naughty Dog. I want to see what the Last of Us Part 2. See, I'm not sure if it's the name or the species. I think it's the species. It probably is, because they refer to it as like a baby Flut, and so I guess that they just call it Flut then. The Jak lore is interesting. I want to know where this fits on the Zelda timeline. Oh, my roommate's back. Try not to be, like, the worst. I'm streaming. I'm just giving you shit. Yeah, Tim's watching. Yeah. I'm experimenting. Scott the Waz, actually, I just started watching him. I think he's fucking hilarious. Yeet. I decided to test streaming, and it went better than expected, so I'm just doing it. And that's just how I'll spend the day. Or at least for now. I'm gonna go back and get some of that yellow eco. Scott the Waz was a channel that I didn't think I would enjoy, because he looked like kind of like every other YouTuber. And then the first video of his that I saw was the one on game controllers, and I thought it was just hysterical. So now I'm subbed and I watch this shit. Some call me Johnny, actually, is one of the first YouTubers that I watched. I saw him like when I was a high schooler. Scott looks like a kid that I used to know in middle school, and it weirds me out. Because his name was Sam, and so I wonder if they're just the same person sometime. Sorry, I used your desk to make coffee. I hope people come back. We've lost everyone down to 5 now. That's an F. We had like 15, can you believe it? Yeah. And I only had to beg every Discord I was in to come watch to get people to join. Honestly, this isn't terrible time even for like a casual run, just because I'm at 124 and I'm in Boggy Swamp. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Casual, but semi-quickly. You're gonna hate me, but I actually, I started watching Star Trek with the Chris Pine movies. So, you can basically just unsubscribe. Some call me Johnny's voice relaxes me. Just use this channel for ASMR. Get the tingles from Johnny. I do think that they're okay. I think they're really accessible for people who haven't seen it, because it was one of those things that I was like wondering about, should I go to the theater and watch this? Because, I mean, I'm like, you know, a couple decades behind on this franchise, but it was something that I could understand, and it dumbed it down, but I don't think it's to that detriment, because it meant that someone like me could, like, see it. Yeah, some ASMR weirds me the fuck out. Like, I'll watch shit like rain sounds to like study with, and like I kind of like that sensation, but some of the mouth noises weird me the fuck out. Oh, I hate this one. Oh, please. Thank God. I drank an entire pot of coffee. I need some help. That was full when I started. Okay, I only need 5 more, so I think I'm gonna skip the stupid rings, or at least the stupid rings and the flying lurkers. I think I'm just gonna get the scout flies in here. I'm not gonna say that I've done that, but I've done that a lot. I learned how to make an authentic Irish coffee from Troy Baker, actually, when I was watching Retro Replay, which is another channel that I like a lot, just because it's Nolan North and Troy Baker. He taught me how to make an Irish coffee, and it's actually really good. It was on their Prince of Persia episode. I came up with my username. Hey, nice! Someone else watches Retro Replay. I came up with my username because it was a placeholder, and then I kept it. Because when I was in high school, I uploaded 2 videos, and they're still on my channel if you want to go watch it and cringe. But I uploaded 2 videos, and back then my name was Blue Sneakers, because I had blue shoes, and I liked them. And then when I wanted to like actually do more with it, I wanted to change it to something little less, little cooler, I guess, and then I ended up changing it just with my initials and my favorite number in it, and it was meant to be a placeholder until I came up with something better, but then about 20 videos in, I just figured I'd keep it. I still am thinking about changing it, but I can't come up with anything better. The Uncle Noli parts they give me life. So if anyone can come up with a better channel name, I'm down for that, because I'm gonna probably start doing more than just music. Because I need to get paid. And I qualify for ad revenue now. I had a really clever idea for a channel name, and then when I searched it up, I found out that someone else already had that name, and so here it stays. Now we only got 4, what a tragedy. Maybe I'll wrap this up then. Hour and a half's pretty good. Oh, please make it. There we go. Retro replay is one of those things that, like, it shouldn't exist, and yet it does, and that makes me very happy. Because it's beautiful. I feel like that's a good way to be, though, is to just have your name be the username. I mean, it's simple and to the point. I'm only missing 3, too, so I'm literally just gonna buy them. So that I can go on to Claw.
You two look like a couple of capable fellows. I've got a research project going, and maybe you could help me out.
Hey, we're the ones on a big quest here. We ask you for help.
Well, perhaps we can help each other. I've been studying the burrowing habits of lightning moles in the precursor basin next to our village for years. But now those awful lurkers have scared the moles to the surface. And since they're blind as bats, they can't find their way back underground. If you could herd them back into their burrowing tunnels, you might just save their lives. I've got a power cell that says you can do it.
Yeah, lightning moles. We care. Maybe for 2 power cells.
Nice try. But I would be willing to part with another power cell if you two find me 90 precursor orbs for my research equipment. Fair enough?
I'm learning a lot today.
Oh, you
This has been an enlightening experience.
Here's a power cell we agreed upon.
I feel like if I were to change my username, I'd have to keep it something similar to what I have. Or else people would get confused that it's still me. It's amazing what things kind of confuse people. You have no idea how many comments about, like, is this official? I get on the stuff that I make. That I figured not putting... I figured I didn't need to put fan-made in the title because people would figure it out pretty quick, but you'd be surprised.
Here is another power cell for your quest.
And let's do both of them.
I offer you a power cell.
I can't remember how many power cells I need to clear Volcanic Crater. So that's going to be a problem. I think it's 70 to turn on the gondola. And then it's like 80 to win. $45, never mind. I'm wrong on this one too. So what I think we're gonna do is I'm gonna just get some easy ones. Yeah, that one. Yeah, for some of them, I didn't really change much for, like, when I did the one that you mentioned, I figured it wasn't going to get many views, and it didn't, so it was one of those things that I didn't really actually take the time to change it. Because usually what I do is I'll actually, like, track down the real MIDI from the game, or, like, I'll find one that someone made that's really close, or I'll have to make it from scratch, and that one had... Hey, you're back. That one didn't have any MIDIs that were made of it, so I had to make it from scratch, and so I didn't re-instrumentate the entire thing. I literally just did, like, the melody and the bass line and the drums, and then laid it onto the original, just to, like, kind of bump the audio quality and fill it out a little bit more. So it's not that different unless if you sit and listen to them back to back. Just because it's a... Yeah, I wanted to do the song, but I knew people weren't going to listen to it, and so I only spent like a couple hours on it. And then moved on to the next one.
Who knows what they might want with the artifact?
Because for all the ones of like CTR, which is what people listen to, if you go and you look at like the views on my videos, like everything that's crashed will get a couple thousand, and then anything that's not will get maybe 200. So for the ones that I know people are going to watch, I'll spend the time to make it from scratch again. But for any ones that I don't think are going to pay off, I'll just take what's there and edit it. I didn't want to go to Geyser Rock. I'm stupid. That's better. That was a really fun one to make, actually. I love doing the hub music. The way that I did it was I made each one individually, and then I ended up putting them together to beat match them. But it meant that I exported the files twice because I did it once to save the song, and then I did it again to merge them together. And something happened the second time that I lost a lot of audio quality. So I'm thinking I might do it again. Maybe he died. We lost him from the chat.
And for that, my boy, you earned a power cell.
That one was actually the hub one was actually really hard to do because I couldn't find the hey, never mind, he's not dead. I couldn't find any good midis for it, so I had to do that one on my own. Because I ripped all of them from the game's files with help from I forgot who it was, but he had the files, and so I was able to reconstruct a lot of it, but I couldn't find the ones for the hub. Yeah, Whiplash actually was one of the people I watched before I started making my own stuff. I think we already agreed that the next fan game is going to be based on Rillaroo, which I think is a good choice. We're back up to 9. We're making records. Getting my fist in there and these cows. So to anyone who's played the Jak games, which one do you guys like the best? Because I'm curious. I was going to ask that earlier, but that was a while ago. That was like an hour ago. Where's the last bitch? There he is. Jak 3 is a good one. I think Jak as a series is really interesting to talk about because they are all so different that you're going to get a lot of opinions. So it's fun to hear what people liked. I think Jak 1's my favorite from a nostalgia standpoint. Jak X is really, really fun. Jak X is one of my favorite racing games, period. So Jak X is a lot of fun. I think Jak X as a game is actually like really good for how, I guess, unpopular it is. Because people don't really think of it as like the fourth one. But I think the story in Jak X is actually the best. Just because it's concise and to the point. And did I do this? Yeah. Yeah, I got the power cell for that. Of course I didn't. I like Jak 2. I like hard games. That's new for me. That I've beaten all the Uncharted games on the highest difficulty and without cheating. And that's not to toot my own horn, that's to say I'm really lonely and need more friends. Because it's kind of embarrassing that I had the time for it. But I thought it was a frickin' blast. It is not for everyone though. So like Jak 2 is a game that sits right in the difficulty that I like. Because Jak 2 is complete bullshit. In terms of the difficulty. There's no checkpoints, you're asked to do a lot of shit, but that's part of the charm that I find in it because I can do it now. So I enjoy it, but it's really hard to tell someone, hey, play this, because it's really hard to get someone interested in something like that. You really have to like wanna be able to try it. I think Jak 1 is probably the easiest to get someone hooked because it's the simplest. Jak 3 is like, Jak 3 is fun, but it's more of 2, so you have to like 2. So, I think I have a bias to this one just because it was, this game blew my mind when I played it as a kid. But since, like, the internet wasn't as much of a thing, and let me see if I can And I just ruined everyone's childhood. I got that in like 10 seconds. But I didn't know that Jak 2 was going to be like dark and edgy. All I knew is that there was a sequel coming out. But we didn't have mobile phones when I was a kid. Because I'm old. Even though I'm only... I can drink and that's how old I am. So it was a total surprise when my dad came home with it one day. And I looked at the cover and Jak has a little goatee and he's holding a gun. And like I read the back and like Jak's out for revenge. And it's like, holy shit, what the hell is this? It blew my mind. Booting up the game. And Jak can talk and there's guns and there's so much to do. And so I had a lot of fun with Jak 2 as a kid just because that was the coolest thing for me. Now I like to go back and imagine the simpler times with Jak 1, but I think they all have something to like. I think it would have been fun to see... Yeah, Jak 4, or Jak X on PS4 should have had online. There's no reason for it not to. It was obviously a kind of half-assed port, just with how it runs. Oh, I fucking loved the Ratchet and Clank series. I'm playing through the second one again right now. I'm juggling like 5 games at once, because I'm playing Psychonauts, I'm trying to platinum Uncharted 4, which I haven't yet, even though I've gotten the platinum in all the other ones. I'm replaying Ratchet and Clank. I just finally started the Zelda franchise, so I did Ocarina of Time, and now I'm doing Wind Waker. So I'm playing way too much. But it's fun. It gives me something to do in between studying. Okay, I'm really glad that someone actually really likes... I'm from America, so for me it's deadlocked, but Ratchet Gladiator, I'm so glad someone else has mentioned that, because that is a very good game that I don't think gets mentioned enough, honestly. I love the fact that it's co-op. It's one of those things that, like, theoretically that game should be total shit, because it's really just repetitive challenges, and less guns than the rest of the franchise. But yet, because of that, it's, like, actually good. It's more tonally focused than Ratchet 3 was. The mod customization's a hell of a lot of fun. Ratchet and Clank works so well with 2 people. So, I really have, like, a soft spot for that one. Because I didn't get it growing up. I didn't know that it existed. Because, again, before the internet. So I had Ratchet 1 through 3, and then I moved right on to Tools of Destruction, not knowing that there was a secret 4th one. And then it took me until I was in, like, middle or high school, when a friend of mine mentioned that he played Ratchet as well, and I asked him, okay, which one's your favorite? And he's like, oh, Deadlocked. And I'm like, what the hell is a Deadlocked? And then, holy shit, was I glad that I bought that off of him. Because he had 2 copies. So for $5, I picked up Deadlocked, and I got more of classic PS2 Ratchet. I think my favorite is probably... It used to be number 3, hands down. Let me not die here. See, I agree. And that was something that, like, the Gaming Brit, I believe, brought up. But it's like, if you like Ratchet 3, Deadlock really is just Ratchet 3, just kind of skinned differently. I would say I like number 2 a lot, Ratchet and Clank. I have a soft spot for 3, but I think 2's better. I have a soft spot for Gladiator. And then it took me until I was in college to play A Crack in Time, just because I never got it when I didn't have money as a child. And so now that I can sell my plasma for money, I picked that up right away. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. I need to go to the game. Hey, congrats on getting close to 1,000 subs, too. I'm gonna screw that up, aren't I?
I'll say something really teary at the funeral. Like, how am I gonna get change back now?
Those 2 orbs I missed doing a speedrun on too. I think the reboot for PS4 is actually really good. I don't think it's as good as the original, but I think it's still good. I platinumed all of the original Ratchets for the Ratchet collection on PS3, and Crack in Time, and the PS4 version. So I think the only one that I haven't done is All for One. But that's really fun if you get 3 friends and then start drinking. The Ratchet and Clank games I think are really fun to 100%, just because there's a lot of... It's fun to go back with items that you have and then go to see the new things that you missed. And yeah, the Ratchet Gladiator port I got for free when I bought Full Frontal Assault for PS3, and if I would have paid money for that, I would have been very pissed off, because I considered it, but the PS3 port, it's unplayable. There's no good word for it. I platinumed it, which was a mistake because I'll never get that time back from my life. But just play the PS2 version. There's no excuse for the PS3 port. Yeah, I like my cutscenes not to look like they're having a freaking breakdown. The very second cutscene of the goddamn game, like the camera goes inside Ratchet's face, and that should not happen ever. At least in like the PS3 port of the other 3, there was only one time that happened, and it was on Quark, and it was in the 3rd game late, but like right off the bat for the PS3 version of Deadlock, they're like, oof. Ace's visor in the PS3 version gives me nightmares. I go to school with a guy who looks like Ace in real life, and it makes me upset. Sony just doesn't... They don't have the care that they should for, you know, archiving their older works, I guess. I think we're really lucky that we have Jak on PS3, because while it's not perfect, it runs better than an emulator. And even better than the PS4 port. Because the PS4 ports of 2 and 3 are average. Oof. 3 Sly games. Ooh boy. We're gonna talk about the holy trinity of PlayStation games. Because I had them as a kid. Sly 1 was one of my favorite games, like, ever for a long time as a kid. There was something really charming about, like, the Robin Hood-esque nature of him. And then Sly 2 I had a hard time getting my head around as a kid, because Sly 1 is, like, kind of stealthy, but it's a platformer. And then when Sly 2 came out, that was new to me. I didn't understand how to play it very well. So there was a learning curve, but once I got it down, I loved the hell out of it. I think Sly 3 gets a lot of shit, but it's good. I like Sly 3 a lot. 2 just makes me happy in a way that other games can't, but there's a lot to like about Sly 3. I think that there's a reason that these 3 franchises are remembered in the way that they are. I'd have to say my favorite... It's really close between 2 and 3. I'm lost. I am no longer lost. What else am I missing? Yeah, that's, we were talking about that earlier, Sly 4. That it's divisive, and I don't know why, because it's one of those things that, like, I think it gets a lot right. I actually really like the art style. I don't like the cutscenes, but I like the in-game models and stuff. The cutscenes do look a little fan art-ish to me. And it's one of those things that, like, that's what I do. I would love to have gotten the chance to do it right. And there's, like, just stupid shit about that game. Like, the Penelope twist is just absolutely the dumbest thing they could have done. And they went with it. But other than that, as a game, I don't have any problem with it. it's really fun. There's a nice variety of things to do. It's very faithful. I don't understand why people regard it as like this flaming pile of garbage, because it's just not. I give it a solid B, honestly. I think that one of the things that stings the most about, yeah, the bosses suck. I think one of the things I enjoyed the most about it, though, is, oh shit, I lost my train of thought. It was just nice to play a Sly game again. And I hate that they're not doing more of it, because, like, Sanzaru moved on to doing the frickin' 3DS Sonic Boom games, which is, you know, really a downgrade. That's just not a franchise on the caliber of Sly Cooper. I think they should have stuck with it and worked on it. Especially because the dev team had such a passion for it. Because they made the demo, and then proposed it to Sucker Punch, and then said, hey, can we remaster your games and then make a fourth one? And they were DTF with it, but they really screwed it in the long run, because they did one and then abandoned it. And you can't leave a game on a cliffhanger like that, and then tell everyone, okay, now the franchise is done. We're making Sonic games. That's a lot of salt in the wound. Oh my god. You're not wrong, actually. Now that I think about it. Silvergun, you make a good point. You make a very good point. I have a head cold, so I feel like I sound a little bit like Bentley personally right now. Just because my voice is way more nasal than usual. Anyone else notice that Jak always looks at Kira's ass during the cutscenes? Because that was really fun to discover.
There we go. Now be careful facing that monster lurker at the top.
Wait! I'll stay here and protect Kira. Jak, I think you're ready to handle that monster without me.
Oh, really heroic of you.
Sorry, I'm responding to an important text right now. Alright, I'm good. It's one of my friend's birthdays today. I need to figure out how I can get, PS3 or PS2 games to stream. Because I have a new computer and it's good, but it's not good enough to like run games that need extensive fixes on them. Like my graphics card is not good enough to run Ratchet and Clank because you need to do all sorts of mip-map fixes for that game. So there's no way that I could get that to stream from a computer. I have to play that on a console. Because I have every other console version of Ratchet and Clank, so there's no sense in that. I'll be sure to tell him I think he's listening, but if he's not, I'll always come back. So if anyone knows how to like stream, because PS4 is really nice because you can just hit a button and then stream to YouTube, but PS3 is not as cooperative, so we'll see how that works out. I forgot how to do the tech to get up to that ledge, so I guess I'm gonna have to beat this for real. Has anyone ever seen debug mode in this game? Because I can show off debug mode if anyone wants to see. It's really interesting. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna show off debug mode because I'm skipping this fight. There's a debug mode that was left in the game. Let me look up the code because I can't remember. But oh yeah, you asked that question earlier, what my favorite series is, and I ignored it because I was getting a power cell, and I forgot to go back and answer it. I'd say my favorite franchise ever is probably Uncharted, but Crash is right up there. It was my very first game ever, and there's just no replacing that. But if I had to list my favorite, it's Ratchet, Crash, Sly, Uncharted. What else do I like? Little Big Planet's fun. Borderlands. I really like the 2 new Rayman games. I wish that they'd do another one. Because Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins are fucking incredible games. Alright. So actually what I'm going to show off here is the developers left debug tools in the game that you have to hold L3, which is really hard, so you have to take both your hands off the controller, and then you hit up, up, down, down, left, right, X, X, square, circle, square, circle. I'll do that now and you'll hear a little tone. So that little, the little beep noise when I did it meant I did it right. And then you pause it, and then you hold L3 and you do the code backwards. I did it wrong. Okay, let me try it again. Come on. There we go. So now that I've activated both parts of the code, I can use the developer tools in the game. You can't see it because the top of the screen's cut off, but there's debug text up in the top left. And now I can do things like I can hold R2 to fly, which is really good because you can skip to whatever part you want in the game. If you hit all the shoulder buttons, you can activate free camera mode. And then you can spawn checkpoints. So I'm gonna skip this fight. And that's how that works. The camera's still focused on him. So I have to kill myself. There we go. Yeah, that was actually... The debug mode was just found in like June of last year. It's brand new. This game went like 13 years without people knowing about that. And I'm gonna run right into that. I'm not going to use it to cheat anymore, but it was fun to skip that, because I'm really bad at the claw fight. That's the one thing I can't do in this game. I'm going to just miss that too, I guess. It's really finicky to get the code to work, because you have to enter it really quickly, and you have to hold L3, which is impossible to do that, and hit the directional buttons at the same time. So you have to literally set your controller down on a table, or in your lap or something, and then like use both hands like a keyboard. And the second part of the code is really finicky, because sometimes it works... sometimes you have to be in the pause menu for it to work, and sometimes you have to do it in-game and there's no telling, so you just have to enter it until it gets right. Ganonside's back. If Rayman 1 was re-released, it would just be mass suicide epidemics. It would cost Bird Box. I'm gonna go back for the things I missed now. I'm really glad that I never played Rayman 1 as a kid, because I feel like I would have hated it. It would have, like, crushed my spirit. I'm not a fan of, like, games like, that are all trial and error to beat. So I'm glad that I didn't have to grow up in that era of, like, arcade kind of games. Because I get frustrated really easily if it's not fair. Not in the sense that I'll rage quit, but I'll just sink time into it until I can do it, and that's a problem. I'm gonna just cheat there. I think I missed literally one frickin' orb. I'm excited that Psychonauts 2 is coming out. I picked a good time to finally play the first one. Never mind, I missed more than one. There we go. That was interesting. I have to find the one scout fly I passed by. There we go. I was gonna quit after like half an hour, but now that it's been 2 hours and I'm this far, I think I'm gonna just beat the damn game. Scout flies. It's one of those things that, like, I would love to try Rayman 1, because I played Rayman 2 and 3. But it's one of those things that it just doesn't look fun to go back and try if I never have any nostalgia for it, because it is just complete BS. And I feel like games shouldn't be like that. Yeah, locking the final boss behind, like, it's one thing to do, like, a true final boss, but putting, like, a 100%, like, pay door, pretty much, for, just to play it for real is stupid, especially in a game like Rayman. I guess this is all new for you, then, if you, never came this far. Try to do my best to show it off.
Body parts in those things. Holy yakkow! The Red Sage's lab looks worse than the Blues.
Well, it definitely looks as though there's been a struggle here.
I'd hardly call it struggle. Would you, dear sister?
Certainly not. The Red Sage gave up with so little effort. No fun at all.
Gall? Is that you? You've finally gone off the deep end, eh? And Maya, I told you the Dark Eco would affect you both. Nobody ever listens to old Samos. What have you two done with the Blue and Red Sages?
Don't worry about your colorful friends, you old fool. They're perfectly safe in our citadel. Our special guests.
They have graciously agreed to help us on a little project.
You were wrong, Samos. Dark Eco can be controlled. We've learned its secrets, and now we can reshape the world to our liking.
You can't control Dark Eco by itself. Even the precursors.
Until now, we've had to scrape by with what little Dark Eco we could find near the surface. But soon, we will have access to the vast stores of Dark Eco hidden deep underground.
Not the silos.
Yes, the silos. They will be opened, and all the Dark Eco of the world will be ours.
But that's impossible. Only a precursor robot.
Oh, don't look so upset.
Yeah, now you'll get to see the cancer that is Spider Caves.
That's for you.
It's like I was never gone.
Wait a minute! That was Gall? The same Gall who's supposed to change me back? Gall is the guy trying to kill us? I'm doomed.
We may all be doomed. If they open the silos, the Dark Eco will twist and destroy everything it touches. We simply must get to their citadel to stop them.
The fastest way there is through the lava tube at the bottom of this crater. A few more power cells and your Zoomer's heat shield should get you across the lava safely.
All right, my boy. You know what to do. Take the flea bag and go round up more power cells.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna beat it now. There. funny thing about the developer tools is that I can give myself any power cell I want. So theoretically, I could just skip Spider Cave, and I might do that, just to wrap up this. Did the mic quality drop? That would be the internet here probably, but I could try to fix it. There you go. Did that fix it? Here, I'll open the stream on my phone to see how it sounds. Okay, good. Yeah, the internet here has a bad habit of just destroying mic quality for no reason at random intervals. So it happens a lot when I'm trying to play Overwatch, that we'll just lose people entirely. So I'll show that that flut trick that we were talking about. I think I can make this. Just missed. Hey. I've had a decent number of people filter in and out. I'm happy. Ooh, tragic. Now we're down to 3. Never mind. We just lost 3 at once. I want to get back up to that high of like 15. I'm pretty sure. Ah! The bird! There we go. Alright, so this is how you get them out, I guess. You can't get up on this ledge because there's an invisible wall that stops you, but you can do a slam on the wall and use it to jump over. And then now he's out of bounds. And this is how you speedrun this level. If I can just kill that fucker. Oh, I need Red Eco to do that. I forgot. Yeah, it's actually like really easy to do if you know what you're doing. There's like a ton of tutorials on YouTube you can find to do it. The fun thing, and this will probably crash my game, I don't think that's that pathetic because I do that for inspiration, so either way it happens. If you go out of bounds back to the back, or to the beginning. Nope, get back up. Never mind. Uh-oh. There we go. So if you go back to... If I could just actually hit this damn thing. You can get it out of bounds, and then the bird will disappear. And that's a hell of a thing to witness. It will probably crash the game, though. So I guess that might be the end of the stream if that happens, because I don't know what's going to happen if that does go on. Let me just... Let me just actually... There you go. I had too much coffee and not enough food, and now I feel sick. I'm a college student. There we go. Alright, so if you... Alright, all 3 people are gonna see this. But you can actually skip over the death plane. With flut. Oh shit. That didn't work. If you jump out of bounds, you can jump over the death plane if you do it the right way, and then when you land in the village, the bird will be gone. I think you can do it in the gondola too, but it's more likely to crash that way on the way down, at least in my experience. So we'll figure it out. I'm gonna go back for it just because I need, I want Flet to beat this legitimately anyway. Come on. I'm stuck. There we go. Oh, please make that. Yeah, I noticed that too. I have no idea why that one specific voice clip is like really low quality. Which is weird because everything else sounds good, but I guess they just put an echo effect on it and figured no one would notice. I'm having a lot of trouble hitting this. There you go. That's not even like specific to the PS4 version or anything, that's in like every version of this game. I'm gonna cheat just to not die. There you go. Because that's not fun to watch. Do we lose Hyper Golem, or is he still here? I'm gonna cheat to beat this too. Oof. F in the chat for the PS2. I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is I'm gonna show the out of bounds thing, and then I'll play the second half of the game in another stream once I get more set up, like a camera or some shit. Plus we only got 3 people left, just because 2-hour streams a lot. I'm gonna try it with the gondola because it doesn't matter if it crashes. There we go. We're gonna get a nice look at Jack's mad masturbation skills. You'll see what I mean. So and yeah, now we have this. I enjoyed this a lot. This should just be how he moves by default. He's twerking. There's just something really enjoyable about this. If I go too far though, it'll crash the game, so I have to not go anywhere. So I think if it crashes, it stops the stream, so... Yep, there we go. And, yeah, soft lock. So, now that no one can unsee that, I think I'm gonna call it. So, thanks everyone who joined. All 3 of you who are left. So, but we got 449 messages, so that's not bad at all. F for the stream. F for Jack. Let me actually see if I can... Guess I gotta stop. So... Yeah. I'll do this again sometime. That was fun. So, sayonara.